This is Bob Barker, and you're listening to Animal House Radio with Aaron and Dr. Mike.
The following program is an Animal House Radio production. Welcome to another edition of Animal House Radio on CHHA 1610 AM, Voices Latinas, www.animalhouseradio.com. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the last show before Christmas, so we hope you have a merry one. It's a terrible night out there for driving, so hopefully you're driving safe and you decided to stay home and listen to a fine edition of Animal House Radio. Joining me, as always, is my partner in crime, which we've been arrested for 83 times since the show started for. Dr. Mike, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. We've had a great week and just a fantastic New Year. I'm really looking forward to all the to the holidays. It's great. And you know what? Some people don't like the snow. I absolutely love the snow. The show is brought to you by Hills Pet Nutrition, the makers of Science and Prescription Diet Food. Ask your vet. Ask your vet, seriously. Ask your vet. And our good friends, I want to give a big shout out to our good friends at CHHA 1610 AM, Voices Latinas. A big shout out to Father Hanan, Linda and Michelle and Warner Lopez and all the good people here that are doing some great work. They've got some great donations coming up and a fundraiser coming up to help them basically build a brand new tower. The station went through some troubles with a storm about a month ago, and their main tower broke down. So we're going to be giving you more information in the upcoming weeks on how you can help the city of Toronto and how you can help this great radio station, this community radio station, by being more of a part and participating in the community radio station. So other than that, we got some great news for you. Obviously some sad news.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of help, why don't we talk about the sort of main story that we want to talk about today, and that is the horrible incident that happened at the Humane Society where a number of animals were killed through a fire. And Aaron's got all the information on what we can do to help these guys out.
Yeah, you know what? When I heard about this story, I actually watched the news and stuff like that, and read about it, and it was tear jerking. I was quite upset when I saw about what happened, and yeah.
You know, the first thing everybody thinks of is who would do such a thing? If it was arson, they were suspecting that, and I thought, wow, who would ever attempt that? And then, of course, they came out with the news, and I don't know if you saw this, but this mice thing.
Yeah.
They're believing now that the fire started in the upper levels, and mice were getting into the electrical wires and chewing them up, and they believe that that's what started it.
Well,
is that correct?
That is correct, and this is a problem in certain facilities, right? If they're not up to date, or the facilities that they have are not top notch facilities. Supposedly that there had been mice in the facility, and they were chewing at the wires, and unfortunately, this is what happened. I mean, if you think about irony, it's horrible irony. It's not the way that I think anybody envisioned. I guess their Christmas going if they volunteer at that shelter, and our thoughts go out to all the people that are involved with that shelter. It's horrible news, and if you want to make a donation to help them out, the Humane Society in Oshawa, there's a few ways you can do it. You can call 905-436-3311, or you can call 905-436-5632. And you can also go and pay it. You can give a donation online on PayPal. Go to www.humandurham.com. So it's HUMANEDURHAM.com website. You can access it there as well. If you go to Scotiabank, just go to any Scotiabank.
Sorry, it's Humane Durham.
Whatever.
Okay.
I think it's more of a human thing.
Okay.
As humans, we need to be humane.
That's true. HumaneDurham.com.
HumaneDurham.com. Okay. Don't make fun of me. And a trust fund once again has been set up at Scotiabank. And just go into any of your Scotiabanks and tell them you want to donate. And the account number is 807-62-002-01-00013.
And they all got that. Everybody's writing that one down.
You should write that down. We'll post that stuff up online, and you can get some more information about that. And another very interesting story that I want to talk to you about. Now, a lot of people say that I'm a rabbit hater. This is not true. I've owned many rabbits in my life, and yeah.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay. Nearly 70 rabbits were... See, this is what I don't get. It says nearly 70 rabbits rescued from apartments. From one apartment. Actually, it was 69 rabbits, so I just want to let you know. 69 rabbits were left abandoned in an apartment and were rescued by a foundation. If there's anything and anybody out there who believes that they can adopt a rabbit or have a home for a rabbit, Richmond says he wants a rabbit.
Did this occur in the city here?
This occurred in the United States, but they are willing to ship the rabbits out all across. They are. This is what it says over here. We're willing to send them out. I'm not kidding. The article says that. So if you're interested, please call 630. This is an auto, actually. 630-407-2800. 630-407-2800. Try to help those rabbits out. Those are good animals. You know, great animals. And I'm glad that they were saved.
Now, I got an interesting story about a shelter that's a little more amusing, I guess.
Tell me.
There was a lady, and the title of the article is Crazy Dog Lady, Woman Adopts 27 Hounds. So this lady had this 2-year-old pointer and unfortunately was struck by a car and died in November. So she was really distraught.
Yeah, of course.
And she happened to hop on a website called, I couldn't believe this website exists. It's called dogsindanger.com.
That's a great name. What do you mean?
It sounds great, but are you ready for this?
Yeah.
They post photos of dogs in shelters and the number of days until they are to be euthanized. They actually post. I got to check this out. Check if viewers are listening, or sorry, listeners are listening. Dogsindanger.com, and maybe you can call us before the show over and confirm this. But it actually shows photos of dogs and the number of days before they're to be euthanized. Anyway, she hopped on the site and saw all these dogs that were going to be euthanized and ended up adopting 27 dogs.
Wow.
All at one time. The problem is she got home and immediately neighbors started complaining about the barking.
No kidding.
And literally called on her because you're only allowed to apparently have 3 animals per household.
Wow.
So essentially, she has found a number of homes for most of these dogs, which is great.
That's
I think she only has 4 or 5 dogs left to find homes for. So it was a nice story. She adopted these 27 dogs because they were going to be euthanized, and then the neighbors complained because this lovely lady tried to save these dogs' lives, and now they're all complaining about the barking.
You know, this is what bugs me, is that people like this are good people.
Yep.
But you know, we have a waiting list for people to adopt, and not to adopt, but people to give out organs like kidneys or something we can spare that people, if they don't get one, will die. Right. I think maybe if this person should show the world out there that we have that type of compassion for animals, maybe we should have the exact same type of compassion out there for people with illnesses. So, hey, if you got a spare lung, take it out.
Right.
Give it to somebody. But that's a feel-good story, and good for that person. And, you know, I don't want to think...
All those 27 dogs are going to end up having a home, and that's the most important.
But I don't want to think what would happen if she wasn't able to find them homes. But, you know, that's fantastic that she was able to do that, and she was able to find them homes. I don't know how she would even feed the dogs.
Yeah. I mean, they were all small dogs. There was like 10 Chihuahuas and 4 Jack Russells and a couple of large dogs. Most of them, I think 21 of them were little teeny-weeny dogs.
Do you think it's kind of morbid to have a website that shows, okay, well, 3 days left, 2 days left?
That's the part that bugs me.
2 for 1, last sale.
Yeah, that's a little... I mean, that's just... there's nothing wrong with pulling on the heartstrings. I think that's just pulling a little too hard.
Yeah.
You know, I just think that's going overboard.
Yeah,
anyway.
Maybe. Well, you know...
Who knows?
Once again, the news is brought to you by Dealing with Dogs, lifestyle obedience for you and your puppy, serving Oakville, Toronto, Mississauga, and Burlington. Call 905-469-1555 or visit www.dealingwithdogs.com.